Welcome back to the show. The Multicultural Music Group is a not-for-profit organization established in 1996 as a response to the need for multicultural music representation in the symphonic repertoire. Now, the concert series presents a major historical event from a particular region of the world with a minor media exposure. Now, joining us now to share more details, we're pleased to have the Director of Community Relations at Multicultural Music, Sofia Mojica. And we thank you so much for being with us. Mojica, I'm sorry.
You got it, Daren. That's okay. Hi, how is it going?
It's going good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here and talk to our communities about what's happening locally. We will be at the Lehman Stages, a gorgeous, gorgeous theater, capacity of about 500 people with a full orchestra, 35-piece orchestra performing music from all around the world, specifically celebrating the cultures and the history of the Caribbean, specifically the Dominican Republic and Haiti, along with countries in South America, including Panama and Costa Rica and Venezuela and Colombia.
And when we talk about multicultural music, obviously, your emphasis, right? But talk to us about the importance of people being able to have an opportunity to recognize and realize the diversity of music culture.
It's so important. And one of the main motivators for the beginning of this organization was the fact that there was a lack of diversity on symphonic stages across the board, especially in New York. And we all know the challenge that arts programs have with funding. So this initiative was really started to show the Upper Manhattan and Bronx communities that our cultures too have a place on large symphonic stages.
And so, talk to us about what we're going to experience in this concert series.
So this concert series really gives a voice to the stories untold. The theme for this year is borders. So really telling the stories of the immigrant experience between the borders of all the countries that I listed earlier. And it is to acknowledge their triumph and their resiliency and their place in other parts of the world. So we see a huge diaspora here in New York City. We see cultures from all over. And so we're highlighting those people specifically. And those are people that make up our communities, people that I engage with on a daily basis. And it's really kind of closing that loop and tying that circle and talking about belonging and unity and cross-cultural similarities. We'll also be presenting the music, original music that is commissioned and composed by musicians of these cultures themselves. And they'll be telling the story through their musical compositions of the experience of folks who've crossed the border. So this is really an opportunity not just to have cultures represented, but also to experience the emotion, the depth and the weight of those stories through a symphonic experience.
So when we talk about the stories being told, obviously a lot of history, a lot of culture that sometimes people are not so familiar with. What do you find to be the biggest takeaway from people once they haven't experienced of the orchestra or this multicultural music experience?
Absolutely. I can tell a story from our performance last week. So the other thing I'll mention is that this performance next week is the last of the series. So we've been performing all across Upper Manhattan and the Bronx all summer. And this June 30th is the last of the series. And last week's performance at the Lobinger Theater was really touching because there was a student. So we also have students perform in our concerts, because part of what the Multicultural Music Group offers is symphonic youth instruction to public school students across Upper Manhattan and the Bronx. And so we invite the students to have the experience of performing with professional musicians, adults on a live stage, to really get that exposure and that experience and that inspiration, if they'd like to pursue that kind of art and career for themselves. So in last week's performance, one of the students and his family was from the country that was being portrayed that night. And they were the only people that the composer had ever met from his hometown in Guatemala. And it was the first time that that student and his family had seen their country so largely celebrated, really just at that scale. And it brought tears to everyone's eyes. It was very touching.
Yeah. And so as we look now to the future, talk to us about what you got your eyes set on past this. Obviously, a great event coming up, but there's still more to come.
Absolutely. And so next year's series, since this is the final of this year's, we're hoping to go big or go home. You know, we're hoping to collaborate with other like-minded organizations, other like-minded individuals, and really give voice to this project that we're conducting through our performances, and invite more people and just get more exposure, and also like hear from our communities what they'd like to see represented, what stories they'd like to see told. So it really is just a collaborative effort of providing resources and experiences to our community, these enrichment opportunities that often these isolated areas don't have, and also just having a good time and providing people the opportunity to enjoy musical performances in the summer.
Yeah, I think that it's an opportunity that many people, once they take advantage of, will definitely find more than they expected. So many times we don't get the opportunity to see culture played out in a diverse way. And I want
Mhm.
to thank you for doing this, because I think that in many ways it opens the doors for many people to be able to see the great talent that we have. And sometimes it's not easily or readily available, but I'm thankful that you're able to offer some exposure. So thanks so much.
Of course, absolutely. And this is an invitation to anyone and everyone. If you are a musician, if you are a student, if you're interested in cultural musical education at all, we are a resource that's available to you.
Yeah. Well, I
Mhm.
want to thank you, Sophia, for being with us. I want to let you know, Sofia Mojica, our guest, and I want to let you know, if you want more information, don't forget to visit the website at multiculturalmusic.org. Also, the website borders.12.eventbrite.com for ticket information. Now, the date and time, June the 30th from 7 to 9 p.m. At the Lovinger Theater at Lehman College. There, you'll be able to see, hear, and witness a great performance. Sophia, again, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much, Darren.